Thank you. Thank you for the good words. I'm Sergey Ignatov from JetBrains from St. Petersburg. I am master degree. I graduated last year in Polytechnical University of St. Petersburg. And one time then I have had a special course of functional programming. It was Erlang programming, exactly. I realized that I would like to have some tool that provides some first-class integration for Erlang, like IntelliJ does for Java or Eclipse does for Java. And I go to the Google and type some tools for Erlang, but I realized that only Emacs it's a good tool. It's opinion of every of Erlangers, so it's very wide. And several years ago, I started working for JetBrains, and previous year, in some rainy weekend, I started my 20% project. Like at Google, we have a 20% project at JetBrains. So it was a Erlang plugin for IntelliJ IDEA. IntelliJ IDEA is our flagship IDE for the bunch of the languages like Java, Scala, JavaScript, Ruby, Python, and now it supports Erlang. So I need some word to describe how it works. For this weekend, I just revoke some grammar notation from Erlang internal sources to our internal representation of BNF notation. So I just convert the topmost one to the bottom. It's the same description of if clauses, but our representation is a little bit compact. And one important thing that our parser generator, who generates a parser by this grammar, have one very important thing. It's generate recoverability parser. Because in IDE, you cannot say that you have an error in line 10 like compiler does. Because after that, you need to mark all the user's code by the red color. It's not so good for user because when you're typing, you have a lot of mistakes because it's a typing. So let's see that which approach allows to us. It provides some features like navigation. It's very important for newcomers, I think, because a newcomer comes to new language onto a new project. It's very important to create some mind map to understand how it works, how that course works, and what is it. This is function. It provides some precisely code completion and precisely rename refactoring. It's really cheapest in this approach because you already built in your internal representation of all your source codes. Also, atop of this approach, you can easily introduce new inspection and quick fixes for common mistakes in your can put on your code, and also you can easily run a formatter atop of this model. So, but also it's very significant to have tools integration in your IDE because you would like to run tests, so maybe formatting with your Emacs because you are working in the team and our colleagues are working in Emacs, but if you would like to work in my tool, you need to provide the same code formatting. Also, you can run dialyzer inspections, but I would like to turn it off because it's too, I don't know, slow, and I think it would be better to run it not on the fly, but by demand. Also, our platform, it's a very good thing to provide some language support, and it has some built-in features like version control system integration, provides some things for project structure and cross-language support. Also, we have a very, but I think maybe excellent Vim plugin and Emacs key bindings for that people who would like to use the key bindings. So I think it's time to show short demos. So this is a really big project, not really big, but it's a big one. And I would like how you can easily navigate through this code. So the first thing, it's outline of the file. You can see all the functions, and not only functions. It's the types or macros, and can filter them out. I would like to find only function u is 31 or 2. So now I would like to see where its function be used. So this is not a really good thing because its resolution too small. It's a pop-up, but I think it's not best, but I would like to use. Yes, you can use the second thing. It's tool window, this find usages result, and you can easily navigate through this code. I think you will see that it jumps through the tests. Another one thing, but if you are right here and you would like to switch to your tests, you can easily switch from the tests file to the sources and back. It's one hotkey. It's much that the file was called Mac, and it's open the file calls Mac with underline these tests. So you can easily run the tests to this project. It's
Sergey, one question. How does it figure out that that's the test file? Just by the name of it?
By the name,
so
yes.
It's using the conventions of eUnit to find
No,
files.
it only checks that this file has including the unit tests on the top. So if you have an empty file without any includes, it would be nothing to navigate. I think it's the right way. So, by the way, we just run all our tests, and you can easily navigate through the test from this graphic console. But it's too small resolution. Okay, this is some predicate test. Let's demo it. I think it's we get it to and run all our tests. This is test unit integration at top of rebar. It's just called the rebar. This unit test command and parse our results and provides some graphic console. So that's it. These tests are filtered out because it's failed. And on the right we have some info about this fault. So it works. So let's see some Git integration, because this project is already under Git, and you can see that you can easily revert this line. It's one click. Okay. Let's go to our function u. I would like to rename it through the all project. Okay, it's called it my new. Okay, now I would like to open my Git log. It's not a Git log, it's my local changes, but Git provides some features for understanding how the code changes, and at the moment I would like to see how my code is changed. So, it's too small. But believe me, it's rename all the usages of the function new to the my new correctly, and it's only renamed its function with 31. Nothing false positive refactorings with another function. So I just revert this refactoring.
Sergey, one other question. Do you have support for, you can rename inside the project?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a project based. So
it's some of the basic thing because I have.
My question is, if you've done a refactoring on some of the API functions, is there any help in those people using that particular module to get that change in the API?
Excuse me again. What?
Yeah, I changed
I have
fun to my fun,
yes.
and then I'm using it from outside the project as well. Are there any help tools to affect that change in people using the tool, that module?
If you integrate your model in your code, you can easily rename another modules. This is a project with 3 modules, 3 applications, 3 different Git repositories, and you can easily navigate and rename all the functions through all 3 projects. So if I open outline for this project, it's okay, outline. It's some dependencies for another sources, and you can easily rename the function in that file. Maybe I hope there's some usages. No. Okay, it's some usages in method match. I name to my match, and I would like to see that it's renamed in all occurrences, so it works. So also you can highlight the usages through the file. This is some usages in export. Another cool thing you can. Okay, the rename works for every type of symbols. It doesn't matter what thing. It's macros, records, fields, and so on. Also types is supports. So another cool feature is parameter info. When you're typing, you would like to see how the parameter works, and you can highlight the current parameters. This is a bold. Okay, if you see this to its value, it's marked thing. It parses documentations. It parses not only documentation, it parses specification of these functions and comment documentation, and also provides some short outline to this tooltip. I think also you can navigate through all symbols and not only your code, but it's SDK, it's Erlang SDK code. So command I would like to enter symbol wait for. Its function exists, wait for exists in model meg, so I can easily navigate through this function. Also, you can like to find the record file info from standard sources. Oh, okay, this is what I expected to see. This is a standard library. You just seen it, it's a little bit different color on the tab on the top. So you can see all usages of this record. So let's see a short demo. Okay, this one. So I would like to close all and create a new Erlang file. I would like to show us my approach to writing in code, but I prefer to Java or other languages. So I would like to create a model. Hello, it's an empty model. It's wrong. Okay, I would like to create a function say, which call another function. This is a string argument. So I have a bunch of mistakes in this file. So I would like to introduce a variable. It's nothing special. Also, I would like to introduce a create function with the argument string and just put it to the standard console. Also, I have unused function, but I would like to run this, so I need to export this function. So after that, I need to, it's a make key bindings, I think it would works. I hope. Okay, it's built-in compiler integration. So it's a little bit experimental because for the big projects, as I can understand, many people use the rebar. So the rebar was my priority for the user requests in the GitHub. So I prefer to use a GitHub. But I would like to show you some magic from cross-language support in IntelliJ IDEA. So suppose we would like to set not hello, but some HTML. It's like an example. So I would like to inject HTML language into the string literal. So I would like to introduce some code completion from HTML things. And now I would like to complete some diff. But also diff is not so cool. Like NA, href, Erlang org, Erlang. This works. It's just a string for Erlang compiler, but for you, then you are using IntelliJ IDEA, it's not only a string, it's a injected code fragment. So yeah, if you get some mistake or you have a red marker on the right outline, so you can easily navigate through all errors and avoid the mistake. Another funny thing, you can easily inject Erlang into Erlang. So just see how it works. I would like to introduce inject Erlang. It's a simple function foo who takes 2 arguments. And but foo it's not a cool name. I would like to call it add, because it will be add x plus z. So you can see that you have some mistake in your code, because there is no variable z in the context of function add, so you can change it. Okay, so code completion, it also works. Another cool feature. So if you would like to create some, don't know, some server, you can easily select it, but it's a common approach from different editors. So in Emacs, Vim, you can just type in some name, and after that you specify the behavior. It's not so funny. So I would like to create some empty model. It's called my server. And I would like to use the behavior of gen server. So I have some mistake in my file because I need to implement all callbacks of this behavior. So that's it. You can easily navigate to this callback from genServer model. I think it's very useful. It's not only for common behaviors from the standard models. If you would like to write your own, you can just add to it. And last but not least, I would like to show some dialyzer support, but it's not very funny, but I think it's very useful. If I have some stupid mistake that I would like to join string and number, so I would like some dialyzer inspection that the function has no local return and no operator between string or number. I think that's all. And as for features, I do really hope that some features from this list will be introduced as soon as possible, because that summer 1 or 2 students will join to my project for the summer internship to the JetBrains, and they would like to implement some very useful features like better tool integration or more code inside features like quick fixes for common mistakes. As you can see, it's very useful when you are using some TDD, and they are open for contribution. You can easily check out my repository in this slide. So if you would like to contribute or file any issue, file any new, don't know, behavior or maybe idea, you're welcome. So you also can easily write an email for me. I always ask them. So that's all. Thank you for attention.
Okay, I'll have a question. Yeah.
Are hotkeys similar to ReSharper?
Yes, we have special key bindings for ReSharper in IntelliJ IDEA. So if you prefer ReSharper, you just select the key map, these ReSharper bindings.
Should I create this?
No, it's built into IntelliJ IDEA. You can just select and from your settings.
Okay.
So this is not a question for you, Sergey. How many of you guys are using IntelliJ? Yeah, and who would like to do it? Okay, then a question for those that would like to do it. What's holding you back?
That was the question I was going to ask you. So one of the things that is preventing in using different projects and different new things in big companies is compatibility with old software. So the question is about what is the project structure we need to follow to integrate our code into IntelliJ.
Okay.
And especially if not all people would like to use it. Most would like to stay in Vim and Emacs.
Okay, I understand your question. So we have imported from rebar project structure, and in the future I would like to implement some on-demand code change from rebar structure to the IntelliJ IDEA. So if you are, at the moment, it's only for first run. If you just have rebar project structure, you can easily integrate to IntelliJ IDEA those settings. Also, we can import from, I don't know, Eclipse. If you have some Eclipse
maybe
project.
I'm more asking about, are you going to implement any automatic import without intervention? So I have my code structure that is using custom build techniques that is of course based on the rebar, but it's not exactly rebar. I have plain project structure, so I don't use rebar depths. I have a lot of modules that are check it out on the same level that using all their own Git repos. I won't be able to point your plugin on the root directory of the code, and it will auto-detect all modules and then use code completion and all the sugar, but without changing anything inside the code itself.
So you can easily import from one click, just import from directory, and all your code will be imported to some project structure. And after that, when you realize you would like to some change, you can change, but it's not important because the code completion will be works.
Okay, so can I handle my IntelliJ project structure separate from the code?
Yes, it contains from one directory. You can put it to some ignore files, or maybe, I don't know, for git ignore. And after that, your project structure will be invisible for your team. I think that's the question, yes?
Yes, that's the question.
Yes, it contains only one project directory.
Okay, and
That name's
is there a
.idea.
possibility to work with a lot of projects? For example, several dozens of projects that are on one directory level, not inside depths like we do in rebar.
So at the moment we haven't any outline for different projects, so you need to open all these projects from the different windows. I think what's the question? Yes.
Yeah, so it will be really useful to make some auto import and to allow your plugin to find all rebar projects in the same directory and auto detect them.
Yes,
That
my
will be
rebar
exactly
importer just do it because he just walk through all your directories and ask you which project you would like to import.
Okay, that's really good. We'll try it
Okay.
out. Thanks a lot.
You can easily come to me after this lection, and I would like to share some information with you.
Can you give an ETA on debugger support? Because that's probably what would get
Yes, I would like to see the debugger support in my future. So I try to understand how debugger works in the Distil and Eclipse plugin for Erlang. So I think if I have enough time, I will implement it. But I don't understand how you would like to use it. It's when you have a lot of processes, because how you would like to join for special process, I don't know. But for student cases, it's really good. Then you would like to point some breakpoint and stop there and waiting. I think it will be introduced in some of the cases.
I think when maybe we can get JD to write up a use case of how you would like to use the debug and send it your way. I think that kind of input is important when you start taking those things on. Yeah.
I think
Good.
some features like tracer or maybe, don't know, more valuable than debugger. Any question? No?
Okay, now then, before we say thank you to Sergey one more time, you will just have to remember now that when people start saying that you can only do Erlang using arcane tools, no. Modern tools support Erlang, and I think the kind of things you saw here today, that actually works. That's the kind of thing that makes life a bit easier, and that's what it should be about. Erlang is about productivity, so the editor should also be about productivity. This is a good step forward for Erlang. Thank you, Sergey.
Thank you.